This is the tiniest micro four thirds camera with a viewfinder ever created, and it's the best everyday camera I've ever tried. But why is it so good? The Lumix GM5 is the successor of the even tinier GM1, which doesn't have a viewfinder. It was released in 2014 and it's still very popular today. Even though my copy is a bit battered, the build quality is excellent. It feels really solid and pleasant to hold, and it even features a small thumb grip on the rear. The rear dial is perfect for adjusting the aperture and shutter speed, and the ISO setting is also very quickly accessible. But the main advantage over other MFT cameras is clearly its size. You can take it with you everywhere and it's so tiny that it even fits in the pocket of my jeans. And despite its small size, it comes with an electronic viewfinder, which is perfect for bright situations. I have to say it's definitely not the best viewfinder, but it does the job. You can change the focus point and other settings with the touchscreen, but I mainly used it to flip through images. My GM5 came with the tiny Lumix 12 to 32mm f3.5 to f5.6 lens, which fits the camera perfectly. I use this lens for most of my photos. The Lumix GM5 has a 16 megapixel micro four thirds sensor that performs very well. I took quite a lot of photos with it, and the images coming out of this camera are impressive. All of the photos you see here were shot in RAW and edited in Lightroom. The RAW files contain a lot of detail and are great for editing. Thanks to its small size, I was able to take this camera everywhere, from hiking in the mountains to skiing. For video, the GM5 can record up to 1080p at 60 fps. It's not 4K, but it's better than most other compact cameras, because you can achieve a pleasing shallow depth of field effect thanks to the larger sensor and better lenses. But despite all the good things about this camera, compromises were made to keep the size down. There's no in-body image stabilization, which is especially problematic when your lens doesn't have stabilization either, like the 20mm f1.7. Luckily, the 12 to 32 lens has optical image stabilization. Another downside is the battery life. In cold conditions, the battery doesn't last very long, so I would definitely recommend buying a second or even a third battery depending on your usage. I have two batteries, and when I was out shooting, I often had to switch to the second battery. But the biggest drawback is its price. On eBay it goes for around $700 to $800 for just the body, and I think that's way too much for a camera that is over 10 years old. Personally, I wouldn't pay more than $400 for it. I got mine for under $300, and I think that this camera is one of the best small everyday cameras ever made. So if you have enough money or if you find a great deal on it, I would recommend buying it.